I'm here at the Sunset Lounge in Newport Pagnell, and I'm privileged to have the two current hosts of the Sunset Lounge here with me, Mr. Gareth Warren and Mr. Jetlag Jeff Sewell.
Do I have foam in my beard?
Do I want to explain that the Sunset Lounge is the back room of the Cannon pub in Newport Pagnell, which is very easy to find because it's right on the high street, and it's been here a long time. In fact, it's been here for, we say, about 13 years.
It was here way before that.
There's some talk around these parts that this could well be, and hear this, the most long-established open mic in the world.
Hi, I'm Gareth, by the way.
Yeah, this is Gareth.
Hi. I recently, over the last couple of weeks, I've done some research, just off the cuff. I just thought I'd have a look, and so far as I can tell, it's the longest running open mic in the world.
That's quite a claim.
People are going to challenge that, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, that's just through my research. The world is a big place. But
recorded?
Well, the longest...
Recorded.
Yeah, the longest recorded open mic, official open mic, is apparently it's one in Dallas that's only 8 years old.
When I go back to Canada, I still go to the one I used to go to in university, so it can't be the same.
There you go. Prove me wrong.
But
Prove
they,
me wrong.
I don't know.
Is that one in...
Maybe they should write in. Maybe they should try harder.
Gentlemen, it's my honour to have you two here and to be able to talk to you about this great place that, let's face it, doesn't just host a very successful open mic every Thursday night here in the evening, but also premieres a lot of local talent and has a lot of local music events going on. What I'm interested to know, we've just alluded to it, 13 years is a long time. From your knowledge and experience, where did this all start? Who started it? Where did it start?
Jeff, over to you, man.
So I used to live on the other side of the wall. Not literally. I used to live in 54B Cannon Ave or something like that. There's a little boulevard.
Is that the one?
Just a little alleyway, essentially. And I was out in my back garden one night, kind of hanging out, and I heard music coming from this room, and there were like holes in the wall because it's loads of mortar bees are in there, and I could hear music. So I kind of like, what's going on? And I went around, and there was a little open mic night running. It was kind of like sparse, I have to be honest, and a little bit bare. And like they built a wooden stage. Leon, who I met later on, and it had built a little tiny wooden stage. And I kind of got into open mic nights because I was going to one down the way, which I met a bunch of really cool Newport Pagnell group of people called the Urban Tribesmen at the time. This was going on an open mic at the King's Arms. So I started going to that one. It was on a Thursday night, so I started coming to this one. And I kind of just started, it was the Sunset Lounge then. It was run by Leon Hudson, and who's partly responsible for the...
Kaz, wasn't he? Was it
Kaz? Yeah, Kaz, a little Kaz. Leon and Ryan were the ones who put on Park Life and the Newport Pagnell Festival. So that was going on at the time, and I just started coming to that, essentially. That's how I kind of found out about the Sunset Lounge.
What was your understanding, or how did you get introduced to it?
I kind of got introduced to it purely by chance. A local singer-songwriter called Daniela Bove, who has been or was prolific and still is in her own little way. Yeah, I was part of a local band called Togmore at the time, and the drummer Pete Hemsley, who she knew through the rock school, was talking to her one night, and she was looking for a guitarist, and I play guitar. Yeah, he basically put her in touch with me, and I got in contact with her, and we went for a meeting, and she invited me down here on a Thursday night, and that was kind of it really. I was here for a little while. It must have been about a month or two, and then I got introduced to Jeff and a few other people, and as the ball rolled, I got more and more involved, and that kind of went on for a little while.
Yeah. So how long have you guys been running it in its sort of present format?
Jeff and I think
as
have been
Jeff
working.
And Gareth show.
I think Jeff and I have been working sort of on and off together for about 7 years. I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Because Jeff left for a little while. Gary got involved. He left again, and then Jeff came back.
Alex Wesley
was here, and then we had a stint of guest hosts. Bailey Rise actually hosted.
You hosted.
You're part of the family now. But yeah, me and Jeff have sort of been doing it together for about 7 years, I think.
A lot of marriages are shorter than that.
Yeah, 7 year itch.
So
I'm
It's
getting
getting to that
bored
point,
personally.
yeah,
like,
Um,
I'm up for
one of the things I've
experimenting.
noticed about playing here is that if you're doing well, you know because
Yeah.
because of the
Because people
shape
shut
of
up
the
and
room and the
listen to you.
That's
intensity.
right. Yeah.
And if you're not doing so well, you also know. And it's generally because if the place goes quiet, then people really
That's
want to
right,
listen to you.
and that again is one of the sort of main characteristics of the Sunset Lounge. You know, we've always said throughout the history of this place that if you can shut this room up, you've done well.
One of the things I was going to talk about was around here in Milton Keynes now, you've got obviously the established kind of institutions for hosting music nights and open mic nights, and I think we put MK11 and probably the Crawford Arms in that bracket as well. For me, what kind of astounds me almost every week is that I come here, and every week, and bearing in mind this is a weekly open mic, which again in itself is quite unusual.
Yeah.
It seems to just make it's successful every week. There's always a great turnout, not only of punters that want to come in here and listen to music, but
Musicians
also acts
as
that
well,
want to
yeah.
play as well. What do you put that down to? Why do you think it's so successful week in,
Consistency.
week
It's
out?
like
It's
Jeff
this
said,
year's
yeah.
word, man.
Yeah, it's just
Not forgetfulness.
not forgetfulness. No, but for me, it's we're quite fortunate at the Canon that we have a separate room. You know, we have a separate room that's completely, separate. Separate. Word of the year.
Segregated.
It's separate. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's separate from the pub, so you're not annoying the locals or anything like that. There's a bar in here and everything, but we set it out with sarongs that you can see here and cushions, and we have candles and joss sticks and stuff, and
When I first
Yeah.
started this, it wasn't from we want to showcase all the best performers in the world or in Milton Keynes. It was coming from a place where I didn't have very much experience playing live, and I wanted more experience playing live, and I really quickly realized that if I kept playing live every single week for every Thursday for year on and year out, I'm going to just automatically get better and perform. I always said playing once in front of an audience is worth practicing at home 100 times.
Yeah.
So I wanted the kind of newbies, the people that have been like hiding in the bedroom, to come out and perform.
Don't
Nowadays,
yawn,
I'm not,
you nearly yawned.
yeah. Nowadays, I'm not sure I want the same thing. I kind of want like people can come out and have a go,
Yeah.
and then if they need to practice, go home and practice. Then completely continue to come back to the Sunset Lounge and develop their art.
But again, that's what this place is all about, is giving people a platform.
Yeah.
And also, I really want to make the point that, kind of what I was going back to earlier, about getting people on. At the Sunset Lounge, we strive to get people on. Because sometimes
Well, it helps because if they don't get on, they can't play and you can't.
And
hear
they
them.
won't come back the next
yeah,
week.
yeah.
So
but-
it's important that they get on.
yeah, it is important. Yeah.
You both got your own bands, guys. Jeff, obviously, with the Swamp Donkeys, and Gareth with the Forest Falls. Do you feel that by being in bands and bringing that experience, that brings a certain something to the table when you host a night like this? Does it help?
No, definitely.
Well, for me, it does. Yes. The reason why I say yes is because the Sunset Lounge is not just an open mic. We do hold gigs. We actually put gigs on this stage where the cushions are. We obviously move all the cushions, and because the stage is the other side of the room. But yeah, I think it's important to have people that are experienced in the music world, i.e. gigging bands or whatever, in order to put on decent nights of music.
Tell me about some of the things that you're doing at the moment to promote the brand, the Sunset Lounge. What's
Is this a
going on?
YouTube channel coming out?
Yeah, we've got lots of stuff. I mean, when Jeff left and I kind of took over things,
That was when it went really bad for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, thanks. And
It really went downhill, I heard.
actually, it got better. Right. But yeah, no. What I'm trying to do with the Sunset Lounge is just to make it more of just an open mic. We've got the open mic, which is fantastic, but after 13 years, the Sunset Lounge is now an established brand and it's doing its thing each week. We're getting to the point now where we don't really have to advertise anymore. It's just a word of mouth thing. Everybody knows it's here every week. It's consistent, and it's good and it's nice and it's atmospheric and all this. But we've got the gig nights going on. We're trying to be consistent with that every month. We've got this wonderful YouTube channel.
Jam nights.
Yeah, we've got we're now kind of branching out into the world of jam nights. But when I say jam nights, I mean jam nights. I don't mean like getting
Marmalade.
Yeah, I don't mean getting up. Well, yeah, musical marmalade, if you like. Getting up on stage and playing covers and doing bits and pieces. I'm talking like taking it right back to the old school. Getting a group of musicians up on stage, some guy starts a bass line that he's just making up on the cuff, and everybody sort of just joins in.
We tried it with my band. It's hard.
Yeah,
you
it's
guys.
difficult.
You guys are gonna be fine. You're natural jammers.
Well, to that point,
Mine sounds
we've
like
got-
John Spence Blues Explosion gone wrong.
Yeah.
We've got one coming up here on the 9th, is that right?
On
Saturday
the 9th
of February.
On the 9th of Feb, but by the time this video goes out,
That'll be old news.
It'll
be
be in
old
the
news,
past.
but
It was awesome.
It was, yeah.
It was
It's
great.
great.
That jam
great.
night was
It great.
fantastic, wasn't it? And that
Yeah,
night,
so We're
fantastic.
doing that stuff, and you know, maybe if I can find some time, you know, take the Sunset Lounge to music festivals as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would that work?
Well, it's just about hiring a little marquee or something and taking, you know, all the stuff that we have here along and just trying to get people in on the festival and running it as an open mic. You
Yeah.
know, just a kind of free entry, any musician walking by, and as we all know, music festivals are everywhere.
Let's talk about the local music scene around here. How do you feel it fares at the moment?
It's
how do you feel
amazing.
it
It is.
compares to other places you guys have experienced travelling around? What do you think the future holds for it?
I personally think, I mean, one of the best places that I like to go, which I've just played with Forest Falls recently, is Bristol. You know, in Bristol, it's an incredible local scene. You know, everybody's buzzing about the music and all this sort of stuff. There's loads of really great acts coming up, great bands, great solo artists. You know, loads of stuff going on.
It's one of the places I guess you guys are still allowed to play.
Yeah, but no, Milton Keynes for me. I mean, there was a dead patch a little while back, but just recently it started to come back, and there's so much sort of young talent. Oh, which reminds me, we do hold an under-18s open mic night that we've started here as well.
The last one got cancelled.
The last one got cancelled. The first one was great. The last one got cancelled, but the next one is going to be great. But yeah, I mean, you know, even at that
It does
open
get
mic,
cancelled.
it was incredible to see the talent. You know,
It's
we had.
encouraging, isn't it?
Yeah, but we had one girl that was like 7 years old and got up and just sang. She wasn't nervous. She was incredible. You know,
So
and she-
someone played the 1812 Overture on a
yeah.
cone. Yeah,
On
I
a
thought she was
kazoo.
outstanding.
Yeah, no, but you know, stuff like that. I think Milton Keynes is buzzing at the minute. You know, there's us, there's MK11, there's the Crawford. You know, there's bits and pieces dotted around. But you know, especially in Newport Pagnell, you got the King's Arms that are doing stuff now. You know, everybody's getting involved, and it's you know what I love about Milton Keynes, having come from Northampton. Milton Keynes has got a real sort of community vibe. You know, especially the music scene. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody is, you know, wants to support each other.
It's one of the things I've noticed. I was talking to a few bands that have come up from London recently, and they were saying that really London's saturated. There's so much of a concentration of music down there that really everyone's struggling to kind of get noticed. Whereas up here, it seems like there's a bit more of an opportunity to kind of get noticed.
It's just a bit more room, you know, and that's what I like.
It's the roundabouts, the distance between
That's
them.
it, yeah. I love Milton Keynes in a roundabout sort of way.
Hey, I see what you did there. What about you, Jeff? Is there anything going on around here at the moment you're genuinely excited about, apart from, you know, just you?
I think it's bedtime, by the way.
No, it's not bedtime. I'm having a good think actually. I've always found the Milton Keynes. I think I'm not sure if it's true about pretty much anywhere you put down though. I think if you put an open mic night on in like that has the consistency that Sunset Lounge has, and it's always going to be on, and it's always going to be a good crowd, then you're going to get more and more artists. I think there's throughout the UK, throughout pretty much any country, I imagine there are so many bedroom acts that are 1,000 times better than what you'll hear on the radio.
Yeah.
And putting on open mic nights, you see them come through, and you're just blown away by them. When somebody's like comes down and says, "I've never played before in front of an audience," and then they just blow the place away.
One of the things I
it's
noticed a few months ago was I was sat down here and I got chatting to a guy, and I said, you know, where you from? And he was like, oh, Manchester. And I said, oh, right. So you're working down here, are you? And he said, no, I came down here for this.
Yeah.
I was like, hang on a minute. This guy travelled down from Manchester because he'd heard about Sunset Lounge just to come down here and experience it.
That was
That's-
crazy.
That's encouraging.
And then he drove back afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks ever so much.
No,
We
thank
love
you.
doing what you're doing here. It's feels like it's going from strength to strength. It's a beautiful thing that happens here every week, and all the other things that go on in between as well. The Sunset Lounge, and may long it continue. So, Gareth Warren, Jetlag Jeff Sewell, thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Cheers,
you very
David.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
By the way, guys, you left your sunnies on.
I
Oh.
I
It's not
Okay.
sunny enough.
Yeah.
You need to-
Yeah.
Where's the be furious?
And role that we play, we never ask them for your permission. That always seemed part